My topic is about to be the Mastermind group. I want to see a quick show of hands. Is anyone familiar with the concept? 4 people. Cool. So, excellent. So imagine that you know this one slick salesman in a beautiful sports car. My question is, what would happen to you if you would hang out with this guy for, let's say, a month? Being with him all the time, trying to model him, trying to be like him. What would your life look like after a month? Who would you be? Probably you would learn from him how to be a slick salesman in an expensive sports car. I don't know, if you're anything like me, that's not what I want to be. So just keep in mind this modeling thing. I want to tell you a short story. It's the story about 5 boys. Yes, it's nothing bad.
Marius.
Yes, okay, so the story has been told from time to time by different people. In this retelling and retelling, the details and facts got a bit hazy, but the general concept still holds true and is quite powerful in my opinion. So the story goes that there were 5 boys, grew up somewhere, I guess in the US, all together. They were really good friends already from kindergarten. When they went to kindergarten and school, they were always together, talking to each other, helping each other, supporting each other, trying to fend off any attackers or anything. So they were a really close group and they became really good friends. So time went on. They went to universities in different parts of the country. But the one thing remained the same, that whenever they were anywhere, they always kept their communication lines open. They were always talking to each other, even though they were living in a separate place. Every year, they would come together in the summer, talk about how their life is going, of their fears, frustrations, talk about the problems they had, solving them. If times were tough, they would help each other out. If some of them were somehow deviating from being successful or being bad, we just kick them and support each other. Time went on, and there came some weddings, marriages, second round of wedding marriages, and in the end they were, yes, old. They didn't look exactly like this. I guess you recognize the people there. But their unparalleled success was quite noticeable in the small town they were from. So people were wondering and asking them, how did you become so successful? And lately they were talking to each other about the exact same concept. And it seemed that the reason why they were so well off in life was exactly the thing that they were doing, of keeping communication lines open, supporting each other throughout life, in good times, in bad times, keeping each other, helping each other, and so on. So in the end, they weren't exactly these people, but something similar. Okay? So now, another question. Who of you knows this gentleman? Okay, Gert, what's his name?
Napoleon Hill.
So who knows Napoleon Hill? More people, cool. So this is what he looks like. So the story of Napoleon Hill goes that in the 1920s or so, he was asked by a famous and rich gentleman to go and talk to the most successful people in the world. So in this process, he interviewed 500 of the most successful people ever, made a series of books called The Laws of Success, but then came the stock crash in 1929, I guess, and he lost all his money. So he put all the knowledge from this series of books into one book called Think and Grow Rich, which if you would ask any successful person, then most of them for sure have read it, and pretty much everyone can and will point to this book saying that this is how it started, from where I got successful, what really helped me. So in this book he talks about this concept of the mastermind as one of the things that the 500 people who he was interviewing, pretty much all of them, I don't know exact numbers, I assume something approximately 499 of them, were using this mastermind group thing to help them reach new levels of success. For example, including this gentleman. One more question, who knows who he is? Yeah, he's quite famous. His last name is Ford. First name is
Henry.
Yes. So, for example, it's a fact that Henry Ford also had a mastermind group with his wife, where if he was working on this concept of the horseless carriage, all his friends, relatives, neighbors, whoever would always turn him down and say, "Come on, don't be stupid, carriages are run by horses. What contraption are you building?" But his wife was the one who was supporting him and sharing ideas and having this synergy effect. So that's an example of masterminds. I'm sure if you look around, you will find many more. So what is the mastermind? It is a concept of people coming together in any time they want, let's say every week or every month or every year, as in this case of the story of the 5 boys, and just sharing what's happening, talking to each other, saying that our problems are these, our things are these. What this effect of coming together as a group does is, for one, if you know that every week you get together with people and talk about becoming more successful, well, then your mindset is already like this during the entire week, and you're thinking of and reaching the better levels of success than you could ever reach on your own. The other thing is, for example, you can use a lot of leverage, accountability. You just talk to the people, they help you, everything like that. You share knowledge of all the people. So if you have 5 people, for example, a mastermind group can be from 2 to how many you want people, just depends on what's working. So if you have 5 people, the sum of all knowledge there is for sure greater than whatever. So you can use knowledge of all these people with different backgrounds, different experiences, different lives. And not only the knowledge, but also the tools, the sources, the connections, the money, everything. And to just become more successful. So this is a really good concept, and as we know that the people who became successful in life did use this, they had at least one other person to share with about, or maybe even more. And so my question is here, would something like this fit into a student or NGO environment? Could this somehow be integrated or talked about more, or had as, I don't know, a mastermind training or anything? I am not proposing solutions, I'm just putting this out there for you to think about. Tomorrow or so we will have a discussion. Well, one session is about these things, so if you're interested, feel free to join and talk about this. So Napoleon Hill said that with a mastermind group you can achieve in 1 year what would usually take a lifetime. That's quite powerful in my opinion. I assume you agree with it. And we all know assumptions are good. So now what I want to do is actually, I want to urge you to think about what are your personal goals in life, where you want to reach, where you want to be, let's say in the 1 year. And just think about these things, find out what's your definite major purpose in life, as Napoleon Hill puts it. I also urge you to read the book, Think and Grow Rich. It's in the public domain, so you just Google it and you just download it. It was written somewhere in 1937 or so. So it's really old and it's timeless, and if people are still talking about it now, and every successful person is pointing to it, then I guess it's kind of good. Yeah, I also read it and I agree with it. So think of what are your personal goals in life, what you want to achieve, what you want to do. Find some people who have similar inspirations, similar aspirations. Connect with them. They might be your friends, family, random people you find in a forum on the internet or anything. And try to think if this mastermind concept might be something you could do. So remember that after this event, do that. And yes, so in conclusion, the mastermind concept is the shortest path to accelerated success that I know. Think about it, and if you are interested, let's talk tomorrow more about it. Thank you.